Hi, welcome to the Aftermath Tales. Ready for a new story? Very well, let's begin.
They say revenge is a dish best served cold, but what they don't tell you is how long you have to wait for it to cool. 2 years, 3 months, and 16 days to be exact. That's how long it took for my family to come crawling back, begging for the help they never gave me. My name is Madison Reynolds. Before any of this happened, I wasn't your typical girl next door. I was already a force to be reckoned with. CEO and founder of RevTech Solutions, a financial technology startup I'd built from the ground up before my 30th birthday. No family money, no connections, just my brains, determination, and an algorithm I developed in my apartment. My success had graced the covers of business magazines. I'd been named to 30 under 30 lists. My net worth had quietly surpassed 8 figures, a fact I kept private from most people, including my fiancé's family. I had everything: professional success, financial security, and what I thought was a loving family and a devoted fiancé. I was wrong about the last part. It was the night before what should have been the happiest day of my life. My wedding to Alex Montgomery, heir to Montgomery Industries, and my fiancé of 3 years. The Montgomerys ran a medium-sized shipping business. Respectable, but nowhere near the scale of what I'd built with RevTech. They had no idea that my personal wealth far exceeded their families. Alex had fallen in love with me before my company took off, and I'd kept my financial success relatively quiet, enjoying being valued for myself rather than my bank account. To my beautiful sister and her perfect fiancé, Lorene raised her glass, her diamond bracelet catching the light. May your marriage be as flawless as you've always been, Maddie. I should have seen it then, the sharpness behind her toast, the way her fingers lingered on Alex's shoulder as she passed him. But I was blinded by happiness, by trust. The irony doesn't escape me now. I built a multi-million-dollar company by seeing opportunities others missed, yet I couldn't see the betrayal brewing right in front of me. One more night, and you'll be Mrs. Montgomery, Alex whispered, kissing my cheek. He had no idea that by marrying me, he was making the best financial decision of his life. Though I'd never told him that, I didn't want our relationship built on my wealth. Here, Maddie. Lorene approached with 2 flutes of something pink and bubbling. A special pre-wedding cocktail, my own recipe, to help you sleep tonight. Thanks, sis. I took the drink, grateful for her apparent thoughtfulness. You know I've been so anxious about sleeping before the big day. Don't worry. Her smile didn't reach her eyes. After this, you'll sleep like the dead. I drained the glass, not noticing the look exchanged between Lorene and Alex. I woke up at 4:30 p.m. My ceremony had been scheduled for noon. The room spun as I forced my eyes open, struggling to focus on the alarm clock beside my bed. The numbers blurred, then sharpened. 4:28, 4:29, 4:30. My limbs felt like lead, my mouth bone dry. My thoughts came sluggishly, as though moving through molasses. Why was it so bright outside? Why hadn't my wedding planner called? Why did I feel like I'd been hit by a truck? I grabbed my phone from the nightstand. 47 missed calls, 28 text messages, 3 voicemails. Reality crashed down as I scrolled through them. Where are you? The guests are waiting. We can't hold the ceremony any longer. And finally, the one that made my blood run cold, a text from my mother. The ceremony proceeded without you. Lorene stepped in, reception at Grand Ballroom as planned. My fingers trembling, I called her. Mom? Mom! What's happening? Where is everyone? Madison. Her voice was distant, cold. The ceremony ended hours ago. We tried to wake you, but you wouldn't budge. The guests have all gone to the reception. What are you talking about? My voice broke as panic rose in my chest. That's impossible. Someone drugged me. I never sleep this late. I haven't slept past 6 a.m. in years. Always so dramatic, Madison, she sighed, the sound of reception chatter in the background. Perhaps you took something to calm your nerves? Regardless, the ceremony proceeded without you. Lorene stepped in. The world stopped spinning. Everything went perfectly, terribly still. Lorene did what? Well, we couldn't disappoint all the guests, could we? The Montgomerys have been family friends for years. Alex suggested that Lorene could stand in. They've always gotten along so well. My sister, married, my fiancé, in my place. Each word fell from my lips like a stone. Don't be difficult, Madison. The reception is still ongoing at the Grand Ballroom. You can attend that at least if you hurry. I hung up and hurled my phone across the room, watching as it hit the wall and shattered into pieces. The sound barely registered over the roaring in my ears. They planned this. They fucking planned this. I staggered to the bathroom, splashed cold water on my face, looked at myself in the mirror, my eyes bloodshot, makeup from the rehearsal dinner still smudged around my eyes. I should have been wearing a white gown worth more than some people's cars. Instead, I was in silk pajamas, drugged and discarded. I could have stayed home. I could have disappeared, licked my wounds somewhere they couldn't see me break. That's what they expected. But I hadn't built a multi-million-dollar company by running from difficult situations. Something inside me, something cold and clear and sharp, told me to show up, to make them see me. I threw on a pair of jeans and a blue blouse, ran a brush through my hair, and ordered an Uber to the Grand Ballroom. The reception was in full swing when I arrived. Crystal chandeliers sparkled overhead, reflecting off the champagne flutes and silverware. A string quartet played in the corner. Everything exactly as I had planned it, down to the imported peonies on every table. As I pushed through the heavy doors, the crowd parted like water. Whispers followed me. "Isn't that the bride? The real one? I heard she overslept. No, I heard she ran off with someone else." And there they were, at the center of it all. Laureen in my wedding dress, the hand-embroidered Vera Wang I'd spent months having custom made, with Alex beside her. My parents stood nearby, champagne flutes in hand, laughing with the Montgomery patriarch until they spotted me. Their faces drained of color simultaneously. "Maddie." Alex's face went ashen as he saw me approaching. "Oh my God, Maddie, you finally woke up. We were so worried." Laureen clutched Alex's arm, her voice dripping with fake concern. My wedding ring, the 5-carat emerald-cut diamond that had belonged to Alex's grandmother, gleamed on her finger. I walked directly up to them, stopping inches away. The room had gone silent, all eyes on us. "How long?" I asked, my voice so calm it surprised even me. "Maddie, let me explain." Alex stuttered, his hand reaching toward me. "How long?" The words exploded from me, echoing off the vaulted ceiling. Laureen's facade cracked. A smirk played at the corner of her lips as she leaned in, her voice low enough that only Alex and I could hear. "Almost a year. He never loved you like he loves me. He was with me the night before he proposed to you. You were just the safer choice, the successful sister who could benefit his family's business, the Reynolds tech genius who could modernize Montgomery shipping." My parents approached cautiously, as though approaching a wild animal. "Sweetheart, be reasonable," my father said, placing a hand on my shoulder. "The Montgomerys are important social connections. We couldn't risk." I shook his hand off violently. "You couldn't risk your precious social standing, so you sacrificed your daughter instead, drugged me, and stole my wedding day?" "Madison, people are staring," my mother hissed, perfect makeup unable to hide her mortification. "This isn't the place." "Where is the place, Mother?" I cut her off. "Where's the appropriate venue to discuss how my entire family conspired to betray me? The boardroom? A family therapy session? When were you planning to tell me you gave my fiancé to my sister?" Alex reached for me. "Maddie, please, it just happened. We didn't mean to hurt you. It's complicated. Your sister has always." "Work something out?" I laughed bitterly. "You drugged me. You stole my wedding." I gestured to Laureen in disgust. "She's wearing my dress." Laureen straightened, adjusting the bodice of my gown. "It looks better on me anyway." Absolute silence followed this statement. Even the quartet had stopped playing. "Remember this moment," I said, my voice deadly calm. "All of you. Remember exactly what you did and exactly how it felt to stand here looking at me. Because I promise you, this is the last time you'll see me until the day you're on your knees begging for my forgiveness." I turned and walked out with my head held high, the weight of hundreds of eyes on my back. That night, in my penthouse apartment overlooking the city, I made a decision as I methodically packed my belongings. I wouldn't scream, I wouldn't fall apart. I would become someone they couldn't ignore, couldn't dismiss, couldn't betray. Someone they would one day desperately need. My doorbell rang continuously, a courier with urgent messages from Laureen, Alex, my parents. I refused to accept them and had security turn them away. "They think I'll crumble," I whispered to myself, looking at my reflection in the bathroom mirror. They're waiting for me to beg them to take me back. I squared my shoulders, wiped away the last of my tears. They have no idea who I'm about to become. I already had money. I already had success. They had no idea just how much. My parents still thought RevTech was doing well, but hadn't grasped that I was worth more than everyone at that wedding combined. But now I would have something else. Purpose. A cold, clear purpose that would drive me further than love or ambition ever could. For 2 years, I disappeared from their lives and poured everything into expanding my empire. I moved RevTech's headquarters across the country. I diversified, acquiring struggling companies, including a major competitor to Montgomery Shipping that I revitalized within a year. Every rejection became fuel. Every doubt became a challenge. I worked 18-hour days, sacrificed relationships, pushed myself beyond every limit I thought I had. I watched from afar as Alex and Lorraine's marriage began to crumble under the weight of their betrayal. But fate had one more gift to offer me, a front-row seat to their implosion. 6 months after the wedding that wasn't, I found myself at the Westlake Charity Gala, representing RevTech as a major donor. I'd almost declined the invitation when I learned it was in my hometown, but some instinct told me to go. To return not as the betrayed bride, but as the powerful CEO whose company had just crossed the billion-dollar valuation mark. I was discussing a potential partnership with the mayor when I felt the room shift. Heads turned, whispers erupted, and there they were, Alex and Lorraine Montgomery entering the ballroom. Lorraine was draped in designer jewelry that couldn't quite distract from her overtight dress and too bright smile. Alex looked haggard, his once confident posture now stiff with tension. Neither had spotted me yet. "Excuse me," I said to the mayor, gracefully extracting myself from the conversation. "I need to say hello to some old acquaintances." I crossed the room, moving unhurriedly, giving them time to notice me. When Lorraine finally saw me, her champagne glass froze halfway to her lips. Alex followed her gaze and visibly paled. "Madison," he managed, his voice barely audible over the string quartet. "Alex? Lorraine?" I smiled, cool and composed in my custom Chanel. "What a surprise!" "What are you doing here?" Lorraine blurted, her voice pitched too high. "I'm RevTech's CEO," I said simply. "We're the event's primary sponsor this year." I gestured to the banner bearing my company's logo above the stage. "You might have noticed." Alex stared at me, then at the banner, realization dawning in his eyes. "You're that RevTech? The fintech company that just hit the billion-dollar mark?" "The very same." I took a sip of champagne, savoring his shock. "How are you both? Enjoying married life?" Before either could answer, a stunning blonde approached, placing her hand possessively on Alex's arm. "Darling, you promised to introduce me to the Stevens." She gave him a practiced pout, completely ignoring Lorraine. The temperature between them seemed to drop 20 degrees. Lorraine's face contorted with fury. "Not now, Jessica," Alex hissed, shaking off her hand. "Who's this?" I asked innocently. "My personal assistant," Alex said quickly. "His mistress," Lorraine spat simultaneously. Jessica's eyes narrowed. "I haven't been his assistant for 3 months, Alex. Stop lying." The crowd around us had quieted, attention drawn to the unfolding drama like sharks to blood. Lorraine knocked back her entire glass of champagne and grabbed another from a passing waiter. "You promised this was over," she snarled at Alex. "After everything I did for you?" "Not here," Alex warned, glancing nervously at me. "Why not here?" Lorraine's voice rose dangerously. "Everyone should know what kind of man you are. You threw Madison away for me, and now you're throwing me away for this child!" Jessica rolled her eyes. "I'm 26, and he didn't throw you away. He never wanted you in the first place. You were just available." Lorraine lunged for the woman, champagne sloshing from her glass. Alex caught her arm, restraining her with an embarrassed grimace. "Control yourself," he growled. "Don't you dare tell me what to do." Lorraine's voice had reached a shriek. "You've been sleeping with her since our honeymoon, Alex." Guests were openly staring now. Phones were raised, capturing what would undoubtedly be tomorrow's social media scandal. I couldn't have orchestrated it better if I'd tried. "Madison, I'm so sorry about this," Alex said, attempting damage control. "We should catch up sometime, talk about business opportunities." I finished for him, my smile never wavering. "I don't think RevTech would be interested in partnering with Montgomery Shipping. Our standards are rather selective." His face flushed. "That's not what I..." If you'll excuse me, I said, stepping back. I should return to my guests. Enjoy the rest of your evening. I paused, letting my gaze sweep over the three of them. Alex's desperation, Lorraine's drunken fury, Jessica's smug triumph. It seems like you have a lot to discuss. As I walked away, Lorraine's voice rose again. Don't you walk away from me, Alex. Everyone knows what you did. I didn't turn back, but I couldn't help the smile that spread across my face as applause erupted for me from a nearby table. Several prominent investors who had witnessed the entire scene raised their glasses in my direction. I nodded acknowledgement, the picture of grace under pressure. That night, Montgomery Shipping lost 2 potential contracts I knew they'd been pursuing. Within a week, their stock had dropped 15%. Within a month, photos of Alex with Jessica at a hotel appeared in the tabloids. And 6 weeks later, Lorraine filed for divorce, creating a spectacular public mess that dominated local headlines for weeks. I never had to lift a finger. They destroyed themselves far more efficiently than I ever could have. My parents' social standing took hit after hit, particularly after I arranged for certain details about their less-than-ethical business practices to reach their country club friends. Not enough to destroy them completely, but enough to wound them, to make them vulnerable. And then one by one, they came back. Ms. Reynolds, there's a Robert Reynolds insisting on seeing you. Says he's your father? My assistant's voice over the intercom interrupted my review of quarterly projections. I didn't look up from my computer. How does he look? Ma'am? My assistant sounded confused. Does he look desperate? I finally looked up. He's not well dressed, seems agitated. I smiled coldly. Send him in. And Sarah? Time him. 15 minutes, not a second more. When my father entered, I barely recognized him. Robert Reynolds had always been impeccably tailored, hair perfectly coiffed, the picture of business success. The man who stood before me was gray-faced, shoulders slumped, wearing a suit that hung loosely on his frame. Madison, my God, look at you. His voice broke as he took in my corner office, the floor-to-ceiling windows showcasing the Manhattan skyline. Sit, I gestured to the chair across from my desk. What do you want? He lowered himself gingerly as though his bones ached. We've been trying to reach you for 2 years. I've been busy, building an empire while yours crumbles, from what I hear. I leaned back in my chair, the picture of relaxed power. The business is failing. He stared at his hands. Our investments went south after some rumors circulated in the club. Montgomery Shipping has been struggling against your new Pacific Shipping subsidiary. We're about to lose everything, the house, the business, our retirement. Your mother is beside herself. And what exactly does that have to do with me? We need help, Maddie. He couldn't meet my eyes. A loan, just to get back on our feet. I laughed incredulously. A loan? You want money from me? After what you did? We made a horrible mistake. He looked up, desperation etched in every line of his face. We thought we were doing what was best. Best for who? I slammed my hand on the desk, making him flinch. Not for me. Never for me. You drugged your own daughter and let another take her place because it was convenient. Please, Maddie. His voice broke as tears filled his eyes. We were wrong. So terribly wrong. I have nothing left. My pride, my business. I'm begging you. I stood, walked around my desk slowly. Do you remember what I said to you? At the reception? He stared at the floor. That we wouldn't see you again until we were on our knees begging. Are you on your knees yet, Dad? Because from where I'm standing, you're still sitting in my chair, thinking you deserve my help. To my shock, he slid from the chair to his knees, his shoulders shaking with sobs. Please, Madison, I'm sorry. I'll do anything. I looked down at him, this man who had once seemed larger than life, who had taught me business strategy over the dinner table, who had betrayed me in the worst way possible. 2 years ago, I would have given my life for any of you, I said, my voice tight with emotion. Would have done anything to make you proud, and you threw me away like I was nothing. You're my daughter. I love you. He looked up, tears streaming down his face. No, I was your asset, and now that I'm valuable again, you want me back. I walked to the door. Sarah will see you out. The doorbell rang at my penthouse that night, again and again, an insistent buzz that wouldn't stop. I knew who it was before I checked the security camera. Lorraine. I should have called building security. Should have let them handle her. But some dark part of me wanted to see her, to look into the eyes of the sister who had stolen my life and see what remained. When I opened the door, she pushed past me, the scent of alcohol following her. Finally, her words slurred slightly. Do you know how many times I've tried to see you? Considering I have a restraining order against you, I'm surprised you'd try at all. I closed the door calmly, maintaining my distance. Madison, please. She collapsed onto my white sofa, mascara-streaked tears already staining her face. Alex left me. He cheated, can you believe it, after everything we did to be together? I walked to the bar cart, poured myself a scotch. Karma's quite the bitch, isn't she? I have nothing. Maddie, her voice rose hysterically. He took everything in the divorce. I'm living in a studio apartment and working as a waitress. Me! I looked at her, really looked at her. Lorene had always been the beautiful one, the charming one, while I was the smart one, the ambitious one. Now her beauty was ravaged by bitterness, her designer clothes replaced by a cheap dress, her perfectly manicured nails bitten to the quick. Oh no, and you looked so good in my wedding dress, too. I couldn't keep the mockery from my voice. I made a terrible mistake, she sobbed, makeup running down her face. I was jealous of you my entire life. You were always the perfect one, the successful one, the one everyone respected. So you drugged me and stole my fiancé? I laughed bitterly. Sister of the Year, Lorene, I'm sorry, she screamed, standing up. Is that what you want to hear? I'm sorry. I hate myself every day for what I did to you. I ruined your life. My calm finally broke. No, you didn't. That's what kills you, isn't it? I stepped closer, my voice deadly quiet. You tried to destroy me, and instead I rose from the ashes and built something greater than you could ever imagine. While you, I gestured to her disheveled appearance. Well, look at you now. Help me, Maddie. She grabbed my hand, her eyes pleading. Please, you're my sister. I pulled my hand away as though burned. No, I'm not. Sisters don't drug each other and steal their weddings. I walked to the door, opened it. Get out of my home. You bitch, she screamed as security arrived, alerted by my panic button. You cold-hearted bitch! You can't do this to me! We're family! Please ensure Miss Reynolds understands that if she returns, she'll be arrested, I told the security guards, my voice perfectly level as they escorted her screaming form to the elevator. When the doors closed, I leaned against the wall, suddenly exhausted. The satisfaction I'd expected to feel was hollow, tainted by the wreckage of what had once been my family. Later that night, I found 3 voice messages on my office line from Lorene, each more hysterical than the last. I deleted them without listening all the way through. Miss Reynolds? Alexander Montgomery is here to see you. My assistant's voice over the intercom made my heart stutter, then race. I hadn't expected him to be the last one, had almost hoped he wouldn't come at all. I took a deep breath, smoothed my hair, adjusted my Armani blazer. Send him in. When Alex walked through the door, I was struck by how unchanged he was. Still handsome, still carrying himself with that easy confidence that had first attracted me. But there was something new in his eyes, a wariness, a desperation. Madison, you look incredible. His eyes swept over me, taking in the tailored suit, the corner office, the success. What do you want, Alex? I kept my voice businesslike. I have a meeting in 20 minutes. I made the biggest mistake of my life. Maddie. He moved closer, his cologne, the same one he'd always worn, bringing back unwanted memories. Not a day goes by that I don't regret what I did to you. Which part? I maintained the distance between us. Falling for my sister, drugging me, or marrying her in my place? He winced. I deserve that. All of it. But Maddie, what we had was real. Lorene, she was a mistake. A horrible, destructive mistake. I laughed humorlessly. Oh, I see. Now that she doesn't have Daddy's money or business connections, she's not so appealing anymore? It wasn't like that. He ran a hand through his hair, frustration evident. I was confused. I made a terrible choice. You made many terrible choices, Alex. I cut him off. Day after day for months. Planning, scheming, lying to my face while sleeping with my sister. Those weren't mistakes. They were decisions. Maddie, please. He moved toward me, reaching for my hand. I still love you. I never stopped loving you. I jerked away from his touch as though burned. Don't you dare touch me. Give me another chance, he begged, his eyes filling with tears. Please, I'll do anything to make it right. I smiled coldly, a predator's smile. Anything? Yes, his face lit with hope. Anything. Then suffer. The words came out soft but sharp as knives. Live with what you did. Wake up every morning knowing you had someone who would have given you everything, and you threw it away for nothing. His face hardened, the mask of contrition slipping. I need you, Maddie. His voice rose, desperation evident. My family's shipping business is being crushed by your new company. The engagement fell apart, and now you're worth 10 times what my family is. Your parents need you. We all need you. And there it was, the truth. So that's why you're really here, isn't it? Not because you love me, because you finally realized what you lost. I laughed, the sound bitter even to my own ears. You never even knew how valuable I was when you had me, did you? What do you want from us? His voice rose, anger replacing the false remorse. To watch us all suffer forever? Is that your revenge? I looked at him, really looked at him. The man I had once believed I would spend my life with. The man who had helped drug me on my wedding day. I don't want anything from you, Alex, I said finally. That's what you'll never understand. Once you betrayed me, you became nothing to me. Less than nothing. That night, I sat on my penthouse balcony overlooking the city, a glass of wine in hand. The lights below twinkled like stars, cars moving in orderly streams through the grid of streets. My city, my life. They had all come back, one by one, looking for salvation, for forgiveness, for money. But revenge wasn't what had sustained me through those dark days after they betrayed me. It was something much more powerful, the realization that I deserved better, that I could build a life that didn't include people who saw me as disposable. My phone rang, my assistant. Yes, Sarah? Ms. Reynolds, I have your mother online too. She says it's an emergency. I paused, considering the weight of that word. Emergency. Once it would have sent me running to her aid. Now I knew better. Tell her I'm in a meeting. What should I tell her about tomorrow's request to meet? I looked out at the city lights, thinking of the family I'd once had. The family that had sacrificed me for convenience. Tell her I'll think about it. I set down the phone and took a deep breath of the cool night air. Some people say forgiveness heals the forgiver more than the forgiven. Maybe that's true. But forgiveness doesn't mean reconciliation. It doesn't mean letting toxic people back into your life. Sometimes it just means letting go of enough anger to move forward. I raised my glass in a toast to myself, to the woman I'd become. To betrayal, the unexpected gift that showed me my own strength. They say success is the best revenge, but that's not quite right. Success isn't revenge at all. It's reclaiming your power. It's building something so beautiful from your broken pieces that those who tried to destroy you can only stand in the shadows, watching what they lost. And that, I decided as I watched my city glitter beneath me, was a victory no one could ever take from me again.
If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and drop a comment below. Don't forget to follow for more content just like this. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.